Hello learners, welcome back to my channel Shraddha's Physics. Here we are continuing with the DSC 1, that is classical dynamics. Today we will see what is generalized coordinate, what is generalized velocity and generalized force. Now let us start with the generalized coordinate. In this generalized coordinate, these are the independent coordinates. Generalized coordinates are the independent coordinates. So the independent coordinates required to describe the motion of a dynamical system known as generalized coordinates. If n is the degrees of freedom of a system, then generalized coordinates are q1, q2, q3, so on qn. So the position vector can be represented as r vector equal to this is the function of this generalized coordinate q1, q2, q3 and so on up to qn. This generalized coordinate, it can be transformed using the Jacobian. We are not going to in that detail in that topic. So basically we can say that the minimum number of coordinate or the independent coordinate by which we can describe the total motion of the system, then that coordinates are known as the generalized coordinates. Now we can give an example. Suppose for example, now let us consider a circle of radius. Suppose r, suppose radius r, and a particle starts moving from this point A to certain point, suppose B. So while a particle is moving from this point A to B, its radius remain fixed, that is r, if the condition is that the particle will move on the circumference of the circle and it will make an angle theta. So in this condition, when that the particle is only move on the circumference of the circle, then in that condition the number of coordinates required is only the theta, because here my radius is constant. When this radius is constant, that is the particle will move only on the circumference of the circle. So in that condition we need only this coordinate to describe the motion of the particle, that is which is moving from the position A to B. So here this theta is called the generalized coordinate and r is the constant, or this is called the constant. That distance is fixed. So this is r is the constant and theta here is called the generalized coordinate. Now we will see the generalized displacement. Now up to this much we know the position vector here r can be written as r vector equal to r is the function of q1, q2, q3 and so on up to qn, and also a coordinate t is present, that is the time coordinate. This is the position vector. Let me write here. This is the position vector. Position vector. Now we can write the displacement, that is the generalized displacement. Here we can write delta r, suppose the generalized displacement. This is equal to sum over the total number of coordinates present, that is I equal to 1 to n dou r divided by dou qi into delta qi. Since these are the function of r, so I can write dou r by dou qi into delta qi plus dou r by dou t into delta t. So from this expression I can write this delta qi here. This delta qi, it represents the generalized displacement. This is the generalized displacement. Generalized displacement. Generalized displacement. That is, here you can see the position vector r can be represented as dou r by dou qi into delta qi. This is the sum over I equal to 1 to n. That is, we can write it as dou r by dou q1 delta q1 plus dou r by dou q2 into delta q2 and so on, plus dou r by dou t into delta t. Since here this t is the coordinate, that is r is the function of t, So here we can represent delta r as this, and here delta qy, that is like delta q1, delta q2, so on, these are the generalized displacement. Suppose here if I will write for the, suppose I am writing for the two dimensional system. So let me write, suppose for example if I will write r is the function of, for the three dimensional system I am writing x, y, z, and t also is present. Now we can write delta r, the displacement, it equal to, here there are three coordinates, so I will write dou r by dou x into delta x plus dou r by dou y into delta y plus dou r by dou z into delta z plus dou r by dou t into delta t. Now we can see that in place of dou r by dou qy, simply this is the first coordinate, the function of x. So dou r by dou x into delta x plus dou r by dou y into delta y plus dou r by dou z into delta z plus dou r by dou t into delta t. So this is the representation in the three-dimensional system. This is in case of the three-dimensional system. Now next we will see the generalized velocity. Now see what is generalized velocity. We know the position vector. The position vector is, it can be represented as r equal to, the r vector equal to, since r is the function of this q1, q2, q3 and so on, qn, and also the t is present. Here I have missed the t term, so let me write it here. Yes. So just correct this in the position vector q1 to qn and the t is present. Why we are writing t? This is because at some point, suppose here I will define, suppose at this point I am defining from this position, suppose O, and this is suppose A and this is suppose B. So we can define the distance from this O to A, this is suppose it is x. Now if I will define for the B point, then this is suppose y. From the origin to distance is suppose y. Or we may define this from A to B, that is suppose z. So it means that when the particle is this point, that is O, suppose t equal to z, and when it will be at A point, it may be like t1, and when it is at point B, then the time will changes, that is t equal to t2. So here the position, the particle position is changing with respect to the time. That's why we are representing here, it is a function of the time coordinate also. Now we define the velocity, the generalized velocity we will write. So let us see, this is the position vector equal to this much. Now you know the velocity can be written as the velocity equal to dou x by dou t. This is simply dou x by dou t, or this is equal to, we can write as x dot. So this is the velocity. Now I will write for the total coordinate system, and I will write the generalized velocity. So here simply this r dot, it will represent the velocity. This velocity equal to the sum over I equal to 1 to n, that is the total coordinate. For the total coordinate we are defining dou r divided by dou qy into qy dot plus dou r by dou t. Here this qy dot, it represents the generalized velocity. So this qy dot, it represents just like q1 dot or q2 dot or q3 dot, just like that. Suppose for the, let me give you an example. Suppose here I'll give you an example of a two-dimensional system. This is for the two-dimensional system. In case of a two-dimensional system, we can write this r, that is the position vector, is the function of x, y as well as t. So the velocity component can be written as this r dot equal to dou r by dou x into x dot plus dou r by dou y into y dot plus dou r by dou t. So this is the representation in the two-dimensional system. Basically this q1, q2, q3 is just like x, y, z and so on. Since we are dealing with the n number of coordinates, so we have to consider q1, q2, q3 so on. Because this x, y, z, if I will take the only the alphabet like a, b, c, d just like this, so there are a few just. But here we have to consider the n number of coordinates. So simply we are giving the number 1, 2, 3, 4 and up to so on. The possible number of coordinates. If we will consider the two-dimensional system, so only the coordinates are 2, that is x and y, and t just represents the time with respect to the time variation. So here, in case of the two-dimensional system, the generalized velocities are x dot, y dot. These are the generalized velocity. These are the generalized velocity. And here, you should remember that it is not necessary that the generalized velocity has the dimension of velocity. Generalized means the independent number of independent coordinates. Okay, velocity means the total number of coordinates. So for example, we can give some more examples on the generalized velocity, just like as in the translation motion. Suppose one-dimensional system and translational motion q equal to x is the generalized coordinate, So similarly, the generalized velocity is simply q dot equal to x dot, this also equal to v. Here the generalized coordinate is generalized velocity is equal to the normal velocity. Okay, generalized velocity equal to the velocity. The number of coordinates present in the generalized velocity is the same as that of the velocity. Now suppose I will give you the example of the rotational motion. Now see, in case of rotational motion, q equal to theta, we can write, you can see here from the very beginning I have already told you this theta is the generalized coordinate, this is the generalized coordinate, and here for the rotational motion, suppose here I am writing q equal to theta, this is the generalized coordinate, this is the generalized coordinate in case of the rotational motion. So now if I write the generalized velocity of this coordinate, so then this will be q dot equal to simply theta dot, and we can write this q dot equal to omega. So this is basically the generalized velocity. Now we will see the generalized force. And before going to the topic generalized force, let me tell you the work done. Work done can be written as, suppose here I am writing delta W. You know work done equal to the dot product of the force and displacement. So delta W can be written as, for the total all the particles, that is Fi, suppose Fi dot the displacement, that is delta Ri. So in generalized displacement we have already calculated this is actually delta Ri. Okay, so here just write this is delta Ri. So in place of this delta Ri, this is delta Ri term. So in place of delta Ri, I can put dou R by dou Qi into delta Qi. This is the sum over I equal to 1 to n plus dou R by dou T into delta T. So let me write. So here this delta W equal to, that implies this delta W, this is equal to Fi dot, in place of delta Ri, I will write the sum over I equal to 1 to n, or simply you can just write the sum over dou R by dou Qi into delta Qi plus dou R by dou T into delta t. So this is the work done. Or you can simply take this fi into the summation, that is, since it is varying from, since this is fi, that is I varies from 1 to n, so I can write this as sum over I equal to 1 to n. This is fi dot the total bracketed term, that is I equal to 1 to n dou r by dou qi into delta qi plus dou r by dou t into delta t. This is the representation of delta w. Here I can say when this delta t tends to 0, this is the delta w, or this is delta w. When I can say if delta t tends to 0, so in that case we can say delta w will be equal to, you can see here, this second term, this will goes to 0. If delta t equal to 0, then I can say this equal to 0. So delta w can be written as this is equal to sum over I equal to 1 to n fi dot dou r by dou qi into delta qi. And this is equal to, again, this is equal to, we can write this is sum over I, that is I, sum over I means it varies from 1 to n. Okay, so sum over I qi, this is capital Qi dot delta qi. So here this qi is the, where this qi, that is capital Qi, is equal to fi dot dou r by dou qi. So this is called as the generalized force. This is the representation of the generalized force. So this qi equal to fi dot dou r by dou qi equal to the generalized force. Now let me give you an example. Suppose motion of a particle in a plane. Motion of a particle in a plane. Plane means here we will consider a two-dimensional plane. So suppose r vector equal to xi cap plus yj cap. So for this, if I will write it in the polar coordinate system, so this x equal to, x can be written as r cos theta I cap plus y equal to r sin theta j cap. Let me tell you this coordinate system, about this coordinate system. This is suppose any coordinate system. This is suppose x coordinate and this one is suppose y, x axis, and this is suppose y axis. Now if I will define a point here and if I will draw a position vector to this point, so this will be, if I will draw a perpendicular to the x axis and a perpendicular to the y axis, then this will be, this is the coordinate x and y. For this point P, the coordinate is x and y. It means that it travels along this x axis x distance and along the y axis is small y distance. Now suppose it makes an angle theta with the x axis and this position vector is suppose r vector. Now I can say that this position vector is our r. So I can write this is suppose origin O. Here this distance travel is, this is OX, and here this distance is y distance. Now we can write the cos theta equal to, you know, cos theta is base by hypotenuse. So this B means the theta angle front side is always represent the perpendicular and the angle always touch the base and hypotenuse. So this base will be the smallest one side. This is x here divided by h is here r. So you can write here the x will be equal to r into cosine theta. And similarly, if you write for the sine theta, then the sine theta will be equal to sine theta, you know, sin theta equal to p by h, that is the perpendicular divided by hypotenuse. Or this p is here, you can see that this distance is y as well as this distance is also y, because this is a parallel distance, or we can say that this distance is equal to this. So here this will be y divided by h is our r. That implies we can write y will be equal to r sin theta. This is r sin theta. So from this, when we convert this Cartesian coordinate system to the polar coordinate system, we represent x equal to r cos theta and y equal to r sin theta, just like this. Now we will come back to our topic, that is here this is just for those people who don't know how to convert the Cartesian coordinate system to the polar coordinate system. So just leave that topic. Now just come back to the topic, that is r we can represent like this. If I will take common r, then this will be like cos theta I cap plus sin theta j cap. And simply this cos theta I cap plus sin theta j cap, it represents the unit vector of r. So this r vector, now we can write this r vector equal to r into r cap. Now our main aim is to calculate the generalized force. This is we are calculating the generalized force. So here r vector equal to r into r cap. So the generalized force can be written as, generalized force is Qy equal to Fi into dou r divided by dou Qy. Here you can see the generalized force is Qy equal to Fi dot del r by del Qy. So simply here this Qy equal to Fi into del r by del Qy. Okay, this is Fi into del r by del Qy. Or let me write more precisely, this is Fi dot delta r into delta Qy. Fi dot del r by del Qy. Now again this Fi vector, it can be written as, this is the component of, here we are considering the r coordinate and the theta coordinate. Since we are considering about r and theta coordinate, so here in place of Fi I can write Fr vector into r cap plus f theta. This is just the component. So here simply Fr into r cap plus f theta into theta cap whole into dou r by dou Qy whole into dou r by dou Qy. Now if I will take the dot product, then this will be simply Fr into dou r vector divided by, in place of Qy I will directly write dou r by dou r plus, this will be f theta into dou r by, in place of Q. When you will take the dot product, I think you must know r dot r will be 1 and your theta dot theta, that is equal to 1, and the rest of the term, that is r dot theta is 0. R dot theta is 0. So simply by multiplying this term, now we can write, this will be del r by del theta. So when you will take the dot product of this r cap with this del r, this is r vector, dou r vector divided by dou Qy. So this r vector is nothing but, the magnitude of r into r cap. So simply when you take the dot product with this, then r vector, r cap dot r cap, this will give you 1. Since here this r is the just a position vector and it is the coordinate of r, is the function of r and theta. So here we can simply write it as Fr into dou r vector by dou r plus f theta into dou r by dou theta vector, dou r vector by dou theta. Now we will write for this r vector, I will write first here Fr into, in place of r vector, let me first calculate, then I will put it. We know r vector equal to, let me change the color so that it will be easy for you. R vector equal to, suppose r into r cap, we know the magnitude into the unit vector. So if I will write dou r by dou r, that is dou r vector by dou r, then this will be simply r cap, because dou r by dou r get cancelled, only the r cap term will remain. And similarly, if I will calculate for the dou r vector divided by dou theta, then this will be simply r into dou r cap by dou theta. Okay, and in place of r I can put, this is actually r theta cap, so I will define it. Now let us see, suppose this is a circle. From this point, suppose a body start moving from this point A. Suppose this is point A. Now when it is at this point B, suppose it makes an angle theta. This angle is theta. Now I can say that along this direction, this is the direction of the r. So this is the r cap direction. Now if I will calculate for the theta direction, this is simply perpendicular to this radius vector. I can write this is the theta cap direction. Now we can calculate the theta cap here. So we know r cap equal to cos theta I cap plus sin theta j cap. Cos theta I cap plus sin theta j cap is the r cap, just we have calculated. And similarly, if I put for the theta cap, this is cosine 90 plus theta, 90 plus theta I cap plus sine 90 plus theta j cap. So cos 90 plus theta is minus sin theta. So in place of cos 90 plus theta, I can write simply this is minus sin theta. So this theta cap will be equal to, here I will write, theta cap will be equal to minus sin theta, this is minus sin theta I cap plus sin 90 plus theta is cos theta, so plus cos theta j cap. So in place of here dou r by dou theta, that is r dou r cap by dou theta, here I can write this is equal to minus r sin theta I cap plus r cos theta j cap. How? Because in place of r cap I can put cos theta I cap plus sin theta j cap. This is simply, if I will take the derivative of cos theta, this is minus r sin theta I cap plus, if I will take the derivative of sin theta, this will be cos theta. So r cos theta j cap, in this way also you can calculate. So this will be equal to, here the value of theta cap is minus sin theta I cap plus cos theta j cap. So if I will take common r, then this will be minus sin theta I cap plus cos theta j cap. So in place of this minus sin theta I cap plus cos theta j cap, I can simply put theta cap. So dou r vector by dou theta equal to r theta cap, and dou r vector by dou r will be r cap. So let me just box it. So this is dou r by dou r equal to r cap, and dou r vector by dou theta, this is equal to my r theta cap. Okay, now I will write in place of dou r vector by dou r, I will simply write this is r cap plus this f theta plus this is f theta, dou r vector by dou theta, this dou r vector by dou theta is nothing but r theta cap. So this will be, I will write here r theta cap. So this is the q vector representation, or this is the generalized force, that is Fr into r cap plus f theta r theta cap. This is in the polar coordinate system, or you can say that this is in case of a plane, two-dimensional plane, we can represent this like Fr r cap plus f theta r theta cap. Again we can also write this as, here I will write, this will be equal to, in general I can write q will be equal to qr. This is also force, Fr is the force component, q actually represents the generalized force. Actually we are here writing, here I have written, just see, Qi equal to Fi dot del R by del Qi. This Qi is nothing but the generalized force. So here in place of Fr, I can write this is Qr, the R component of the generalized force, into R cap plus. Here you can see this F theta into R. This is the Q theta into this theta cap only represents the direction. Now we can see this is the generalized form, where I can write Qr equal to here. This Qr equal to, I'll just write it here. Qr will be equal to Fr and Q theta equal to R into F theta. So this is all about the generalized force. So in this total lecture, we have studied the generalized coordinate, then the generalized displacement, and here is the generalized velocity, and here finally the generalized force. So this is all for today. If you have any doubt at any point, can ask me in the comment section. That's all for today. Thank you.